It's really cool to just have people in their 20s in general on this platform to, you know, talk about real life shit that people who are 20 years old, you know, have to deal with.
Yes. Welcome back to another weekly edition of ISD in School Detention. You are here with Devonn
and Pierce.
Today is a very special day. I've been looking forward to this a lot. This shows the power of the universe and the power of just being a person, just like fucking talking to people. We have a very special guest today, my homegirl, Corli Jay. How you feeling?
Yo, what's up, guys? Thanks for having me today.
Oh, thanks.
No problem. Oh, exactly. So what were you guys talking about before I pressed record? It was actually something that's really relevant. It's something I was going to bring up.
I just asked her how her day was going, and then she was just kind of telling me about just coming back from vacation. So if you want to go ahead and jump back into that again, Corli, yes, by all means, go ahead.
Yeah, for sure. So I went on a trip to the Smoky Mountains with some friends. Me and my husband did. And I was just telling Pierce how racist it was out in Townsend, Tennessee. And it was just like openly racist. And I was just like, I was astounded at it. So we went to a McDonald's when we first got there to use the bathroom. We thought, why not order something? Man, I'm telling you, these people didn't even acknowledge our presence. They walked like right over us and looked at us like we were crazy and didn't say anything the whole time. And I'm just like, wow, we just left out. Like, that is so crazy that they did that. I didn't even know what to say.
Mm-hmm. Like, what do you say? You know, do you get angry? You know?
Yeah, right?
Because, you know, I could yell, but then I don't even know if I'd want the service after that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I leave.
Especially with someone messing with your food. Like, you don't know what they're going to do to your food. So it's like, at that point, you know, I'm just going to leave. Like, I could cuss you out, but it's like, you're not even worth the time at this point.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Because that's fucking.
What do you guys feel like the best response to racism is? If there is a good response?
It depends on the circumstance. Like, in that situation we were in, I think we did the best thing and just leave, especially because we were outnumbered. Like, it was probably like 5 employees. It was 2 of us. So
and you weren't at home. You were out of state.
Exactly. And it's food involved. Like I said, I'm not about to risk anybody messing with my food.
For real.
Real shit, yeah.
So it depends on the situation.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry, but I don't know, man. I mean, I guess it depends on, because I feel like my first reaction would want to educate, you know, but not everyone wants to be educated on that. You know, I feel like some people want to stay ignorant to those topics. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I'd imagine the best thing for me to do, or anybody really, would just be kind of ignore the situation and then remove yourself if possible. You know, obviously not every situation allows you to do that, but just remove yourself before someone gets hurt. Because a lot of time when, you know, you got a bunch of racist shit getting spouted from here or there, there's bound to be violence coming around the corner, you know?
Yeah.
Yes.
But then also, like, in a situation in which you are an ally. So say you are a white person and you're witnessing white people being racist towards blacks. I feel like in that situation, you have a voice and you should stand up for that. Mm-hmm. So sometimes stepping away could be dangerous, but especially if you could, you know, avoid the conflict or kind of step in and be the mediator. So so it's kind of like difficult.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't think there's any right answer, you know. I mean, it's such a tricky situation. I mean, obviously people have been trying to deal with racism for hundreds of years now. So if there was an answer, it probably would have been found out by now. So, I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, it's something it doesn't start with us. It starts at home. You know what I'm saying? It starts at school. It starts when you're a child and you're being taught certain things. And it's really up to the people that are teaching you those things. Because as a children, nobody's born racist. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Nobody. You know, we don't see color like that. You know, it's put in our brains and our heads from just our daily lives and who we surround ourselves with. So
and the media
there. And the media
does a job of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the
go ahead. I'm sorry.
You're talking about?
You can hear my air conditioning. This is why I didn't want to cut it. Okay. I was going to sit here and, you know, I do anything for the podcast. I was going to sit here and be musty in my own house and sweat my own. It don't matter. If it's audio clean, I don't care. You You gotta understand. I may pass out, but as long as the audio passes the test, I'm cool, bro. Like one thing I've definitely learned, not to get off topic of what we're talking about, but I've done a lot of audio, and because of the pandemic, and this website here is great. Don't get me wrong, but with technology, there's so many different things that can go wrong. So I was definitely weird to cut off my AC today because it's just so many things that can go wrong. Whether
what could happen.
Man, if I could tell you guys the amount of stuff that's happened to me since March as we've been doing this through our computers for the past 4 months has been crazy. But to what you guys were saying about like the response and just education, Pierce, you sent me a video the other day about that lady going into that, which I don't even know the race of that lady, but the lady.
I'm assuming. Oh, I'm sorry.
I want to assume that she was black. I don't know.
That's what I'm assuming. I don't know because I know. Yeah, obviously, we didn't see the.
Right. You would think if you're going to call someone out for being racist, you should identify your own race first, but whatever, it's cool.
What happened?
So she goes into this. Pierce, you can explain it better. I believe she went into a bubble tea shop. I don't know what city.
It was like a boba tea shop,
boba, not bubble.
something like that. But it was like that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And it was, I think it was called, I guess they would use words like your boba plug or like the boba trap, blah 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 blah. And then she came in and was like, "Is this a black owned business?" And they were like, "No, it's not." I think they were like Filipino or something like that. And she was like, "Oh, well, you guys are being racist. You're taking words that are associated with black people and using them for your own." And she was referring to like trap and plug and this and that. And right. And I was just sitting there. They're just like, "What are you talking about? Like, we're not racist." They're like, "We're just like, what are you talking about?" And she was just going off, and she was like, "This is ridiculous. Like, I was coming in here expecting it to be a black-owned business from the words I saw being used, and not and it was just nuts." And what was funny to me was that the words that she was upset about them using aren't even like good descriptive words for anybody. Like, why would you want to be associated with the trap house? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you want to be associated with the plug? I'm assuming the plug in being the plug for like drugs, you know, because obviously you can be plugged for anything, but I'm assuming that's what she was talking about or referring to. So she's getting upset over words that I wouldn't even want to be associated with. So it's like, whose battle are you fighting right now? You know? And
what does she want at the end of the day? Like, what was the solution for her?
I think she wanted to go viral. I think she was trying to go get clout because she went in with an attitude. You know what I'm saying? And nobody was there nobody was mean to her. No one was yelling at her. No one was being racist. There was I think there was at the end of the video, there was a black man that was next to her in line.
He was getting hot, bro. He was cooking. He was like, he's about to fry her ass. He had the hand up and everything.
Yeah, he was like, "What are you talking about? Like, you're tripping." And she called him and she was like, "You're a coon, this and that." And I was like, "Oh my God." I was like, "Yo, this is like just boba tea, yo." Like, my thing is this, like, if it was a black owned establishment and they were serving boba tea, could you not also make the same statement? Could an Asian person not also make that same statement? Like, this isn't your culture. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what? I just don't understand that, you know? So I think she was just going in there trying to get a viral moment. It didn't work out. It kind of backfired. But sorry for making this long-winded, but
you're good.
I feel like that's an issue now because with everything going on, I feel like so many people want to have that next video. So many people want to have that next interaction with someone to go viral, to to show.
So they go around looking for the moments, looking for trouble, just so they can get likes and comments.
100%. That's what she was doing, bro. Like I said, nobody was being any type of racist at least from in that video. I don't know what the past was, but I mean, everyone seemed fairly nice. And she came in, just wouldn't let anybody talk, yelling over people. I'm like, you're just looking like you look like the people who are arguing about not wearing a mask. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you just look dumb at this point. But that was my takeaway from the video. I just couldn't believe that was going on.
As soon, and Corli, I sent it to your Instagram, but as soon as she walked in the door, you can tell by just like her tone, the way she was talking, she was looking for some shit. She walks up, she's like, is this a black-owned establishment? Okay. Excuse me. It looks like she was cutting in line. Excuse me.
Wow.
It's like, yeah, she was tripping and got there.
Serious?
And then my thing is, if it's such an issue, this is all a setup for her to go viral. She's some social media, social justice, some warrior, I guess she's trying to be. But she goes in there. Not only do you spend your money here like a dumbass, if you that upset, why would you put your money in there? For one, stupid. Right. Two, you go in there and you. She,
I don't know.
I mean, I think she ordered the tea just because, just because, like she ordered that tea specifically to make a point because her camera was rolling the entire time before she even walked in the business. Camera up. Is this black owned? Yada, 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 making the moves, screaming, yelling, just being ignorant. And then the black guy next to her who was trying to be respectful at first eventually got upset. And what was funny is I think he was with a white woman because she was kind of holding him back. So I don't really know what was going on in that video. And it really feel it. What's up?
Oh no, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
It's just it takes away when you do shit like that. It takes away from the momentum of the movement that we are actually trying to do.
Yeah,
because it's like the boy who cried wolf syndrome. Like there was no need for that. Everyone was staring at her like they were stupid. The guy was trying to do. I props to the guy who handled the tea. He handled that shit really well. Because I'd have been like, yo, get your dumb ass out of here.
Yeah, she definitely was doing the most with that.
Oh,
And
are
it's
you watching it
also-
right now? I just sent it to you.
Also, yeah, send it to me. Also, like you said, taken away from the movement. I know y'all heard about that R. Kelly protest.
Wait,
What? Who? Never heard of.
When?
Yes,
There was a
they
protest?
were. Yes, this weekend.
What?
They were
It was in Chicago, wasn't it?
protesting. Of course.
And look, now I'm gonna say this. I love black women, but it just seems like his only supporters are black women that are like 55 and up.
There too.
Huh?
Yeah, but mostly black women. It was black men out there too.
Oh, okay. But a lot of people I see came for R. Kelly are older black women. Not to be rude or ignorant, but I'm being serious.
That's just a fact, though. But
Yeah,
yeah,
so-
that's definitely taken away from the movement, though. Like, they were trying to protest that, Corona's going on, and they keep on pushing back his trial. I don't know if you guys know, but they pushed his trial back again. They keep pushing it back, like basically having him sitting in the county. I think he's in the county, and they're not giving him, a fair trial date. And so that's what they were kind of pushing. But it's like you get all of this injustice, this actual injustice that's going on in the world, and you're vouching for a man that fucking literally peed on underage girls,
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, you would think that someone as just disgusting as that man, because I'm not gonna lie, I was a fan of R. Kelly before all this was.
We all were.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I was a fan of him, but like when you see what he's done, and then you just see all the accounts and just how many people are like, yeah, like he's just this and that. It's just like, it's hard to support someone like that, and then to sit there and then actually go and march. And the thing is,
this guy, like, are you freaking kidding me?
I don't know, and Devonn, you're saying, a lot of people that are defending him are like older black
women.
I don't even know why. I don't know why, but I feel like, I mean, you could look at artists of today. I mean, there's plenty of artists today that have had some pretty questionable pasts, and the people that they affected in those pasts are still supporting them to this day and even defending them. And it's just like, why are you defending someone who doesn't even give a fuck about you? But
Well, this is my thing, though. A lot of people don't agree with me on this, but I stand true on my unpopular opinion that I can separate an artist from their music. I can listen to R. Kelly all day and have no problem with that. But when it comes to supporting you as a person, that's when it's a difference for me, because music is music and music doesn't hurt anybody. And I'll stand on my feet for that shit every day. But I'm not gonna go protest for you when clearly what you did was wrong. Because at the end of the day, if I cared about what these artists did in their personal life, I probably wouldn't listen to anybody.
yeah, right, for real.
And that's true shit.
That's real, because I remember when this R. Kelly thing popped off again. This was like last year, because he's popped off a lot of times, and like in our livelihoods, because I think we're all around the same age here. So a lot, like there's a Boondocks episode. There's some kids have younger, and then there's now like a year and change where it popped off again. I remember we went to boxing. Me and Pierce did, and our boxing coach played some R. Kelly, and I was like, bro, you wild for that. Because I'll be honest with you, Corli, respectfully, I'm a slightly disagree. I hear where you come from to separate artists and music, but for me, there's a line, right? And it just all depends on my gut is telling me my feelings. So, like, for example, with him, even though his music could be just his music, and you view it that way, respectfully, that's the way you feel, and that's cool. For me personally, it's like, man, I feel like by playing his music, I'm supporting him. And then on top of that, it's like in these songs, who are you writing about?
Mm-hmm.
Are you writing about kids? are you writing it like seems like you ready? Like did she just get a driver's license? Is that why you
No,
feel
yeah,
like she's
definitely.
ready?
Like, I respect how you feel, right? But at the end of the day, I feel like people should respect how I feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
Hundred
don't have
percent.
a problem with people playing "Step in the Name of Love" at a family gathering. You know, you dancing to a song. You know what I'm saying? And people will try to put you down and go ham on you. Like, no, no, he did all this. Okay, he's not here. He's in jail. I'm not supporting this man. I'm listening to music. You know, and just like you have the right to not listen to that in your car, I have the right to listen to that in my car, in my house, because it's music, bro. And I love music. And I completely respect anybody who just feels that certain way. Like maybe somebody feels like they don't want to watch Everybody Hates Chris because Terry Crews is a coon, you know? Like, and I respect you for thinking that. But at the end of the day, it's art, and that's how I feel, you know?
Yeah.
That's real.
Yeah.
Like for another example for me, right? Like my line, like Chris Brown.
Chris Brown is a great example.
It's a perfect example. Or Mike Tyson. You know what I'm saying? Like you look at stuff like that with Chris Brown, and it's like, man, yeah, this happened X amount of years ago. And then people sometimes it's hard to gauge whether we forgive. It's crazy how we're forgiving people that we don't even, how we're making judgments and forgiving and unforgiving people that we don't even know, for one.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, yeah, we could listen to his music. And I never stopped being a Chris Brown fan. I just naturally gravitated away from his music just because I got into other things. That's when I really fell into love with like rap. But like, if you look at that, you know, you look at the Michael Jackson tribute, you look at things that he's done to show growth, the documentary, the rehab, it's like, man, my gut is telling me this is okay because he's grown from that. Plus, I know people in my personal life who've done things like that and they're still, you know, tight with me to a certain extent. I just feel like everybody's gauge is different, you know, like what would be the gauge? What would be the gauge for you to stop listening to someone's music?
I think that the gauge for me would be if that person did something that hit home for me. Like if R. Kelly probably did something to me personally, then I couldn't do it because it would take me back to that all the time. I would think about that situation. Or if something probably happened to me while a song was playing, like no matter what the artist is, like say if a Drake song was playing and something traumatic happened in my life, and that song I could never listen to it again because it will always come back in my head. Like, damn, man, that was a messed up time for me. I just can't do it. You know, and that's probably what people feel when they listen to R. Kelly. Like you said, like I don't know who he's writing that song about, but for me, that doesn't hit for me because it didn't hit home for me. Like it didn't happen personally in my life, and also, like I said, he's being punished. The music doesn't hurt, but it's like a personal level type of thing.
Yeah, I feel you 100%. I mean, I agree. I mean, because like you said, if you really were gonna stop listening to people's music based off of what they've done in their own lives, and we wouldn't be listening, especially in hip hop, we wouldn't be listening to nobody, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many people. I mean, what is the line? Is drug dealing the line? Is murder the line? You know what I'm saying? Like what? Because we listen to that all the time when we're listening to hip hop. You feel me? And then this plan, but if you go back in history, like a bunch of major artists were not the best people, like at all. They were actually like really shitty people, you know? So like, I mean, I think that just kind of comes with it. And especially when you're a troubled like that, a troubled person. I mean, there's plenty of artists that are troubled people, and the only way they really are able to express themselves is through the music, you know? So you're not going to listen to that because of they're expressing their emotions, you know? So I don't know. I think it's just a little tough.
It's kind of difficult. Like with Doja Cat, like a lot of people stopped listening to her because she had that, you know, that what is that viral moment where she was talking about blacks. And
oh yeah, I remember that.
That was, yeah. And I don't know, like it's kind of hard, but also it's like it's a different kind of level to the thing. Like, okay, with Doja Cat, with her being a self-hating person, obviously, and you have somebody like R. Kelly, who obviously sleeps with underage girls, and you have somebody like Chris Brown who beat a woman. I guess you can gauge it like that if that's what you do. But that's why I don't do that, because it's levels to it. But to me, it's just all art and it's all music. You know, it's just too finicky to decide on what I'm not going to listen to or what I'm not going to watch based on what somebody else did. At the end of the day, I consume what I like.
Exactly. Yeah, not everyone's saints, man. Especially the people that we look up to. I feel like when just as society, when we're looking at a celebrity or an artist or an actor or rapper or whoever, it doesn't matter. We see them and we assume that they're just like perfect people. You know, like they do no wrong. But we only see what their job is. You know, we don't see the behind the scenes. We don't see their personal life. We don't see any of that. So they could be a horrible person, but they're amazing at doing this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or so it's like, are you not going to appreciate what was made because of how they are in their personal life?
Exactly. You don't even know this person. That's why it's all about that's why I say separate the art from the artist, because it's about the art. You're appreciating the art. You know this person because of their art. You don't know them. And Kanye is a great example of this.
Mm.
Kanye is probably my most favorite artist ever, but I will never 100% agree on any of his ideals.
I don't think anybody can.
But it's like you can never deny the gift that he has in making music.
Oh, 100%.
Never deny that.
100%.
Yeah, that's real. I feel like this past couple of years with this cancel culture and identity thing and people who listen to who you're going to support, I feel like it's been a test for the world to really understand that, one, you don't know these people, and it's showing boundaries again. It shows who's group thinking, who's not group thinking, and it just shows who's able to critically think at that too, or just use common sense. Like, you don't have to agree with all someone's ideal to support their music. You don't have to be all in. You should never fully agree with anyone anyway, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Right, because you could be a free thinker in Kanye's words.
Yeah, exactly. So how do you feel about Kanye running for president?
It was fake. That's how I feel. I mean, can he actually
I'm
legally
sorry, could you go again and kind of cut out? You said, how do you feel about Kanye for president?
I said I feel like it was fake.
Okay.
Could he legally do what he did? Like, I'm not really familiar with like the politics of politics, I guess, and running. But how does that even work? How could he just decide to join the ballot so late? Could he legally do that?
Yeah, I think he do that.
I thought he missed the deadline.
I'm not sure. I know there's like some shit going on, but like, yeah, you don't like there. You can you can enter fairly late into it, But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't think anybody took it serious anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I definitely didn't. And like you said, I'm a huge Kanye fan, like to the day I die. But I'm not gonna vote for him. Like that's just not happening. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, but I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it was used to kind of make us a distraction for something else. What are we distracted from? I don't know. But I mean, I'm seeing already that he's not even getting put on ballots. Like he's not in the Illinois one. I think he's not in Wisconsin. So
exactly, and that's what I'm saying. Like, if he's gonna run, how is that right that he's not on some of the ballots? I don't understand that. Like, so they can't be legal because you're not in every state. How is everybody gonna vote for you then? Like,
exactly.
I just don't understand it. Like,
yeah, I don't know. I don't know how he planned on that working.
You know what he did?
What?
Late registration.
That was an 8 out of 10. That joke.
Oh, talk to me. Ooh, yes, sir. That's definitely going to a minute clip. That was good.
I'm dead.
That was good. All right, let's switch up and talk about you for a second. Now, our conversation has been centered around music so far.
Mm-hmm.
What really got you? What age did you kind of start falling in love with music?
Oh, you already know, College Dropout, baby.
Here we go.
2004, 9 years old.
Really? What did you like about College Dropout?
Shit, like the soulfulness of it. Like, it made me understand hip hop and rap. Like, I was like overlooked everything, but then when I heard that, I still get goosebumps when I listen to College Dropout. And it's just like something that I hold dear to my heart. Like, I was just looking at my old CD case, and that's the first album that's in my album case when you open it. Like, I just fell in love with that album. He made me just like basically feel like, even as a kid, right? I didn't know about college and like degrees and bills and shit, but he made me feel like damn, man, he right. He telling my story, like, and I ain't know shit ways. I couldn't understand it, but I understood it, if that makes sense, And just like, that's when he became my favorite rapper. And I just loved it. And I actually wanted to be a rapper from when I was 9 years old. I had a rap career from like 9 to 15, I think. It might have been 9 to 16. Yeah, because of Kanye. Yeah.
So like, what was your rap name?
It was Corli. And then I added the J, like when I was like 14 years old.
How many tracks did you have? Like, how many tracks you got recorded?
I had a whole mixtape recorded and some loosies. like
That's crazy.
yeah, I probably got like 11 to 12 tracks.
How many did you release?
I think I recently released like 5 of them on SoundCloud. They probably still there if I didn't delete them. They probably sound horrible though. Like, don't go look for this shit. Like,
I was about to say, send me the link. If you don't want to, you ain't got to say it on here, but you could definitely send me the link. I would appreciate that.
Bro, for real though. And then when I was in college, a couple of my friends actually found my SoundCloud. I was like, damn, Corli, I didn't know you rap. Like, talking about I'm cold. They need to get me on the track and stuff. Like, I mean, I love to write. Like, I will write, but I just don't feel like I had the gift of rap. Like, I loved it, but I don't think that I was gifted in that area.
So what if you had to pick like a rap style, what would it be like?
Like, what you mean? Like Kanye, what you mean?
Because I remember, go ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
In 8th grade, I tried to be a rapper. I remember my best friend, I think I was on the phone with one of my friends at the time. I was just freestyling, trying to like do whatever. He's like, you should be a rapper. So I made a Facebook page. I put and I would write it down in my notes. Mm-hmm. Like, I thought I was cold. I said one thing, I was like, I'm going deep like Mike Vick. These flows so sick. Get my dogs on you like Mike Vick. Spread my wings like the Eagles. It was because Mike Vick got played for the Eagles at the time.
Super hot fire.
You see me? Like, it was crazy. Like, I don't know. It's just becoming a rapper and actually seeing rap is a whole different thing. Like, when I actually was legitimately considered, like, I don't know what you saw ahead of me, but in my mind, I pictured like a mountain to climb, a big ass mountain. What did you envision when you wanted to rap?
Just making it out, just like being. I always said I was gonna be the princess of good music. That was my whole thing. Like, yeah, man, Tiana Taylor, I'm coming for you. What you talking about? Like, for real though. But I think that, like, I for real believe that all creatives started off as rappers. Like, I literally think that. Like, every time I talk about somebody's like journey in the beginning, they always talk about how they started off as a rapper, started out like wanted to do music, and that's crazy how that can actually go into become a beautiful thing. You start off doing this one thing, but you can manifest it and like maneuver it in different ways. Like, so my love for music and me wanting to be a rapper, and I moved and manifested that into actually becoming a music journalist. You know, it's crazy how you can still do that. And I forgot to mention earlier that actually I was in Donda's House. You know, the organization founded by Kanye and his friend Rhymefest. I was a member of that when I graduated high school. After I graduated high school, I think it was like in 2014 and 2015. I was part of the second cohort.
How exactly did Donda House works? That's really fucking cool, by the way. Yeah. How exactly does that work?
How did it work?
Yeah.
So I think 100 kids auditioned from like the age of 13 to 23, I believe. And so you auditioned, and you know, you got a call back, you got it. And I think that it was 20 out of 100, and I was one of the 20 that got picked. And I was just like so geek, like, oh yeah, man, I'm cold. Like, I'm in Kanye's organization, but you can't tell me shit. What you talking about? But I rapped one of these it was unreleased. I never recorded it, but I wrote like this long ass poem rap, and I never actually performed it, and I performed it for the audition. I was nervous as hell performing in front of Rhymefest, and then I got it, like, for real. And during that process, it was really cool. You got to collab with a lot of different artists, and I never been the one to think that I would be part of a group, but they put you in a rap group, you know. And it was singers too as well. And we recorded different songs. We did different exercises to make us better lyricists. He had guests. We got to meet GLC. We got to perform in front of Kanye's producer. What's his name?
No ID.
No ID. Yep, we got to perform for No ID.
What?
That's
crazy.
It was freaking crazy. So that was a cool experience. But then through Donda's House, I actually got into Free Spirit Media, in which I learned about journalism, and that took off from there.
That was my next question for you. How exactly and what exactly got you into music writing?
But like realizing that I don't think that I was gonna make it as a rapper. You know, I didn't have the grind, the hustle for that. I wasn't really motivated, and I didn't think that my music was that good. You know, so but I still loved writing, and I love just like studying music and just like talking to artists and learning about them. And when I went to this event, and Free Spirit Media was there, and I was already thinking to myself, like, I really want to go into different type of writing, like journalistic writing, instead of like creative all the time. And I met the spokesperson for Free Spirit Media there, and they gave me pamphlets and told me about the different programs. And then so I applied. A couple weeks later, I had the interview and I got it, you know. And then that just opened up a whole new world of just like um filming and script writing and meeting new people and networking, just to know that you don't have to be stuck in a box. Your love for music can, you know, go to something else. And then from that, I learned about a lot of different type of journalism, like investigative, and it just made me a better individual to know that my love for writing and music doesn't have to just like be in one thing. So that was really cool.
That's dope, man. Honestly.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of, you know, with technology and everything going on, has the pandemic affected your career at all?
Yeah, definitely. I'm furloughed from iHeart. You guys know I work at the radio station. I do promotions, and so I've been off since March.
Damn.
That's fucking sucks.
Yeah, like because there's no events going on. You know, I did the events where I set up signs and different things for the events, and we had smaller events throughout the city, well, throughout the state, really. And we gave away tickets to different things, have different promotional events, and none of that's happening. So we haven't been working. But as far as what's the word, it actually propelled my career with what's the word, because I don't even know why. I think that because you have to be more creative with how you do things, and I was able to like get interviews on Instagram Live, do more articles because I had more free time, you know. So that was really cool to see how Corona actually prepared my career that way. And I'm still doing things with what's the word, like you guys, I don't know if you guys know, we saw the Beat series where I got to interview different producers, but we're doing a lot of different things with what's the word, and I'm glad that actually I got the chance to do it.
Yeah, talk about What's the Word TV. I see them a lot. I follow a few people, including yourself, that are affiliated with that channel. Just talk to us just about like what they're about or how they got their start.
Definitely. So I don't know if you guys know Cody Mack, the founder of What's the Word, started at Southern Illinois University, I believe, and it was just him wanting to do something for Chicago. Like Chicago doesn't really have our own like media hub. Like when you go to New York, you got to go there to do your media. But we want people to want to come to Chicago. Like what's the word is the voice for the streets. We're the voice for Chicago. We're the voice for our youth to give information and really make people know that we out here. Like Chicago isn't just something that you should look over. And I think that we are showing people that Chicago's culture is really one to mess with. Like I think that we had this interview with what King Louis. And it blew up. Like King Louis wasn't doing an interview. He didn't even want to do an interview with us, but then the interview he did, I mean, he was kind of acting weird, but at the same time, it was a good interview. And we got like a lot of feedback on it. Lil Uzi actually watched one of Cody Mack's interviews and he commented on it, so it's getting a lot of traction. And one of the things that Cody has talked to me a lot about is that if Chicago knew how dope Chicago was, we would be more just like out there. Because I think that one of the big things about one of the bad things really is that when a lot of people, when they get on, they feel like they have to leave Chicago, and that's one of the stigmas that we really need to get rid of. You know, like what are your guys' What are your take on that though? Like, why do you think that people feel like they have to leave Chicago when they reach a certain celebrity? Like, I hate that.
Pierce, you can go first. I feel like I've been talking a lot.
I don't know, man. I feel like I can imagine some people, especially if they've been, grinding out here, trying to achieve whatever they're trying to achieve. Once they hit a certain status, they may feel like, okay, well, I've done what I've done out here. Time to go somewhere else. Or depending on what, like industry they're trying to get into. Like, for example, if they're like trying to act, obviously in California, that's where Hollywood is, and that's where a lot of stuff's going on. Not that there isn't anything going on here, because there's a lot of stuff going on here. But I just kind of feel like it's just kind of been put in people's minds that if you once you succeed, or if you really want to succeed, you go to the West Coast to Cali, or you go to the East Coast to New York. Chicago's just kind of like, there's nothing wrong with Chicago. I just feel like it's looked at as this isn't somewhere where you go to really have huge success, and I think that's just how it's been kind of portrayed for the longest time now. So I think that's probably why a lot of people feel like they need to move, away once they find success. But I mean, I don't know though. I don't know,
The stigma is just like crazy though, because if our celebrities stayed here, if they gave their time and invested in the city, it would be so much better than what it is. I'm not saying, like, I think that Chicago is the greatest city in the country,
Mm-hmm.
but people don't see it that way, especially with all of the things that they put in the media about the violence, But if the celebrities stayed here, invested, and gave their time, then it would be just like spectacular. We would be better than New York in my eyes. Like,
yeah, that is one thing. I think a lot of the celebrities that have come from Chicago, or just even the surrounding area, once they leave, it's they may mention Chicago here or there, but it's never as hard as someone would go for,
like New York.
Exactly. Like they never just go as hard, and you never really see them giving back, or doing what they can to kind of bring Chicago to the forefront, or bringing events, to Chicago.
Yeah.
It's always held in California. It's always held in New York. It's, there's rarely anything major that brings people from around to Chicago, so
exactly.
I think that would be super dope.
And that's what we want. That's what we wanted. What's the word? Like, we want to be like, I hate this comparison, but the Breakfast Club of Chicago. Like, this is our sound. This is us. And people gotta stop here, because if you don't, then you ain't messing with the culture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but what is your take on it?
I was thinking, let's see, now your Breakfast Club comparison, just looking back and seeing the different things you guys have done, articles I've read that you've written that I actually want to ask you about in a few minutes. I compared you guys more to like a Complex versus a Breakfast Club. Because the Breakfast Club is just, not to disrespect anybody in this scenario, but Breakfast Club is just a radio show. You guys do video interviews. You guys do a lot of stuff out in the community, and then you guys do write-ups as well. Complex does all those things just like you guys do. You know what I mean?
Definitely. I like that comparison better too. The Breakfast Club was like the first thing that came in my mind, but you're definitely right.
Right. Yeah. I would say like a Complex or a Double XL. Now, in terms of leaving the city and giving back, I feel like, one, a lot of these artists who come from these really fucked up neighborhoods and come from these really bad situations leave for their safety. Like,
oh yeah,
oh
hell yeah.
Like for example, like, I mean, obviously I don't know this man personally, but everyone knows Dirk lives in Atlanta now.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, look at all the shit that he was into, whether it be the beefs. I mean, look at the guy that just FBG Duck, rest in peace.
Yeah.
FBG just got killed. Now, granted, I'm not saying he deserved to die, but when you live in those situations, sometimes that's the energy you attract. I've never listened to Duck, but I do kind of understand what he was kind of about. But when you have situations like that, you can't necessarily, in my opinion, blame people like Dirk or say, I think maybe Polo G lives in Calabasas now. I see on like Instagram, he's always out there. I don't know. But when you look at situations what happened to Duck, and it's just like, do I really want to stay in this place that people may kill me if I got a family to protect? Like, it's a balance. But then you look at people like Chance. Chance is like the most Chicago person I've ever seen in my entire life.
He goes hard for Chicago.
You know what I'm saying? And she lives in Chicago. To my understanding, he still lives in Chicago. She records out of there. He still works with a lot of Chicago artists. Like, he was the first reason why I heard Saba was through Chance. So, I think that it's a combination of those things. I think it all depends on how you come up and the kind of energy you attract. Because Chance, I'm sure Chance ain't perfect, but I don't see him out here attracting the same energy as Dirk or as Duck or as her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. And that's another thing with Chicago. Like you brought up Atlanta and Dirk living in Atlanta. Like the camaraderie between the artists in Atlanta is impeccable. Like if Chicago artists could work together like that, we would definitely be dominating. But it's so much hate out here. Like when somebody's from a different hood than you, different gang than you, and they own, it's like it's just so toxic, and I really hate that. We just need to learn how to work together as Chicagoans.
100%.
You can't be hating on the other man come up, man.
It's really sad to see. I've never experienced it per se, and I don't consider. Let's just clear this up now because people do take this very serious. I don't consider this podcast. We're not from Chicago. We're from the suburbs.
Yeah.
So let's just clear that right now if somebody gets on our neck. But I never experienced said hate or said people trying to shit on you or anything like that. I've yet to experience, at least not to my face. I'm sure people have lied and been like, "Yeah, we listen to your podcast. Yeah, you do keep it up, bro." Probably lied to me, but I never really experienced outright hate. Have you? Has someone like in the journalism world, like talk about hate in the journalism world? Has any of that hit you yet?
No, I think that it mostly comes from the streets when the gang culture, because like you said, like Chance, he's in Chicago, no problems because he's more of a positive type rapper and his vibe isn't on it. So I haven't experienced that either, so I can't even speak on it.
Yeah, me either. Like I wouldn't really know how to deal with that.
Me either, man.
I don't know.
But I feel like I always wanted to go to New York as a kid. That was my dream. But when I visited, it was like, man, New York ain't nothing but a dirtier Chicago. I might as well stay in Chicago.
Oh, that's funny. I was talking to someone about Chicago or about New York the other day, and they were just saying how like New York is kind of dirty because there's garbage out in the streets. Like there's garbage everywhere and shit's gross.
I've never been to a financial institution and it was trash on the floor. We went into a Chase Bank and it was trash on the floor like it was an alley, bro. Like I've never seen that. I was like, what? Is this your downtown?
This your downtown.
Is this all you have to offer?
But I ain't gonna lie, I did have a great time down there in Times Square and everything. It was a beautiful sight to see, but I couldn't leave that for Chicago, especially because the price hike is already expensive to live in a city. Just imagine living in New York. Like, I just can't. If anything, I would probably try to go to California because it's like more spacious. It's a whole different vibe than Chicago. If you move to New York, then all you're doing is moving to Chicago, just a more expensive and dirty Chicago.
Yeah, and a little bigger too. Well,
yeah,
New York is fucking huge.
It's huge, man. I wanted to explore all 5 boroughs while I was out there. That was impossible.
All right, so we just got right now. We got done talking about Chicago artists just now. Who are some of your favorite artists from the city?
Definitely Chance. I'm not really big on drill, but I have taken a liking to Dirk lately. With my favorite song being It's All Love. I don't know if y'all know that track, but
I do not.
Definitely. But more on the indie tip, I love Cassius Tay. I love Allen the Official, ATO. I love Jiggy Bars, and I love Dre Period. Dre Period is a dope artist. He's dope because his vibe is totally different. I wouldn't even want to put him in a box of hip hop, but like if you're black, then you're technically hip hop. But I think that his sound is more alternative, and it makes me just want to like just vibe out and dance, really. And I'm actually interviewing him tomorrow on my IG Live, Dre Period. I met him in college at Chicago State. But I have to say my top 3 would be probably Chance, I want to say Polo, and Juice WRLD,
Rest in peace.
Juice WRLD. R.I.P. man. Juice was going places. Did y'all like his new album?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. When I didn't listen to Juice like that. I always appreciated the talent. You know what I'm saying? I never denied the talent he had because it was obvious. I do have a friend who was a huge Juice WRLD fan, and after he passed, I'd start listening to him a little bit more. And there were a lot of songs I actually really did enjoy from him. And the album was almost it was kind of sad to listen to,
Definitely
but that's it's a lot of
message
artists
to
like
his fans.
that, when they pass, and then that album that comes out afterward, it's just like, damn, like you know, you're only
like Mac Miller.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, like it's bittersweet. It really is, you know, and you know, they may have some songs, you know, some Lucy's just kind of come out, or some unfinished songs, but I mean, I don't know. It really is bittersweet listening to that, especially if you were really, really, really fucked with them as an artist. You know, to kind of hear those final songs is really sad. And the thing about Juice WRLD, some of the songs that came out after he passed, you listen to what he's talking about, and it's almost like he knew what was going to happen, and it was actually kind of almost eerie to listen to, just because he was talking about not being here anymore, you know, talking about overdosing, this and that. And it's just like, damn, like it's almost like he knew it was happening. It was just a matter of time, you know.
I actually got